30 mega projects transforming Africa in 2026-2027. Africa is undergoing a historic transformation through an ambitious wave of mega infrastructure projects aimed at accelerating development, connecting regional economies, and unlocking the continent's immense potential. From sprawling transportation corridors to futuristic cities and world-class energy grids, these projects represent a bold vision for a self-reliant, globally competitive Africa. With support from governments, foreign investment, and strategic partners like China, the World Bank, and the African Development Bank, Africa's landscape is changing rapidly. These projects are not just about concrete and steel, they are about jobs, economic empowerment, integration, resilience, and pride. They will touch every facet of African life, from commerce to climate resilience, from agriculture to aerospace. This 40 minutes documentary takes you deep into the heart of 30 transformative projects, revealing their origin, challenges, breakthroughs, and long-term significance. Whether you are a policymaker, investor, engineer, or just a curious observer, this is your all-access pass into the biggest African projects reshaping the 21st century. Prepare to be inspired, informed, and amazed. Africa is rapidly rising as a continent of ambition, innovation, and transformation. Once seen through the narrow lens of poverty and underdevelopment, the Africa of today and tomorrow is reimagining itself through bold infrastructural revolutions and groundbreaking mega-projects. In 2026 and 2027, nations across the continent are pushing the boundaries of progress by initiating or completing awe-inspiring projects that promise to reshape economies, connect cities, and elevate the lives of millions. From high-speed railways that span across nations to futuristic smart cities in the heart of the desert, Africa is positioning itself as a global force in the 21st century. These 30 mega-projects are not just blueprints or fantasies, they are tangible, multi-billion-dollar undertakings backed by governments, private investors, and international partners. Whether it's the tallest skyscraper on the continent, a vast solar power corridor, or Africa's first AI-powered smart city, each project reflects a new chapter in the continent's development narrative. This 40 minutes documentary explores the vision, the challenges, the people, and the future that these projects represent. Join us on an extraordinary journey across Africa, from the bustling capitals to remote frontiers, as we unveil the 30 mega projects that will define Africa's destiny in 2026-2027 and beyond. Project 1, the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, Nigeria. The Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway is an ambitious 700 km superhighway project connecting Lagos in the southwest to Calabar in the southeast, crossing several states and economic hubs. The project aims to enhance interconnectivity across southern Nigeria, reduce travel time, and support regional trade. And Tourism Project. A $12 billion mega highway project that connects Lagos to Calabar along Nigeria's southern coast, boosting tourism, trade, and regional integration. Start date, April 2024. Expected completion, December 2027. Importance: this 700-kilometer 6-lane expressway is one of Nigeria's most ambitious infrastructure investments. It will decongest major urban centers and promote economic integration across the South-South and Southwest regions. Economic benefits, estimated to create over 50,000 jobs during construction and another 30,000 in transport, hospitality, and trade after completion. It is also expected to increase GDP by 1.5% annually. Engineering feats: coastal protection embankments, long-span bridges over estuaries, intelligent traffic systems, and extreme foundation work in swampy terrains. What people should know: the highway will pass through 10 coastal states, host multiple economic hubs, and reduce Lagos-Calabar travel time from 12 hours to just 5. Start date, 2024. Estimated completion, 2032. First phase by 2027. Project value, $13 billion. Project 2. The Kenya Konza Technopolis, Kenya. Also known as Silicon Savannah, this is Africa's first large-scale smart city focusing on tech innovation, data centers, and digital startups. Start date, January 2019. Expected completion, Phase 1 complete in 2026, full completion by 2030. Importance: Konza is part of Kenya's Vision 2030 strategy to shift its economy toward knowledge and innovation. Economic benefits: projected to create 200,000 direct jobs, attract $10 billion in investments, and host 1,500 tech companies. Engineering feats: high-speed fiber optics, smart water and waste systems, autonomous vehicle infrastructure, and AI-integrated urban planning. What people should know: Konza is being built on 5,000 acres and includes a national data center, university, biotech parks, and residential zones. 3. Grand Inga Dam, DR Congo. The largest hydroelectric power project in the world, the Grand Inga Dam aims to generate 40,000 megawatts to power much of Africa. Start date: planning began in 2014, Phase 1B construction starts 2026. Expected completion, Phase 1B by 2031. Importance: could power 40% of Africa's electricity needs, reducing dependence on fossil fuels. Economic benefits: attracting over $80 billion in long-term investments, powering mines, industries, and homes across 10+ countries. Engineering feats: diverting a massive portion of the Congo River, building the largest turbines ever used, and ultra-high voltage transmission lines crossing borders. What people should know: supported by the AU, World Bank, and African Development Bank, this dam is a Pan-African solution to energy poverty. Project 4, Lekki Deep Seaport, Nigeria. West Africa's largest and deepest seaport, built to handle over 2.7 million TEUs annually. Start date: 2020. Completion: January 2023. Importance: serves as a modern trade hub with world-class maritime infrastructure. Economic benefits: estimated to contribute over $360 billion to Nigeria's economy over 45 years and create 170,000 direct and indirect jobs. Engineering feats: deep harbor dredging to 16.5 m, advanced gantry cranes, and smart logistics integration. What people should know: operated by China Harbor Engineering and Tolaram Group, it has boosted Nigeria's port capacity and eased congestion at Apapa Port. Project 5, the North-South Rail Corridor, South Africa to Zimbabwe. A key regional rail infrastructure project aimed at connecting South Africa's industrial heartland with Zimbabwe, Zambia, and the DRC. Start date: initial construction began in 2021, major expansion phase from 2024. Expected completion: 2027. Importance: a major corridor for minerals like platinum, chrome, copper, and coal, connecting landlocked countries to global markets. Economic benefits: expected to reduce freight costs by 40%, cut delivery times from 12 days to 4, and enable trade worth over $20 billion annually. Engineering feats: rehabilitation of over 3,000 kilometers of track, double tracking, new signaling technology, and bridge reinforcements across rivers. What people should know: supported by SADC and African Union with funding from Afreximbank and the Development Bank of Southern Africa. Project 6, the Djibouti International Free Trade Zone, Djibouti. Africa's largest free trade zone, strategically positioned near the Red Sea for global commerce. Start date: July 2018. Expected completion: Phase 3 by 2026. Importance: designed to become a key node in China's Belt and Road Initiative, offering access to a market of over 400 million people. Economic benefits: expected to create over 350,000 jobs and attract more than $10 billion in foreign investment. Engineering feats: built on reclaimed land in a desert, featuring massive warehouses, high-speed customs clearance systems, and dry port logistics. What people should know: the FTZ is a collaboration between Djibouti and China Merchants Group. It spans 4,800 hectares. 7. Kigali Green City, Rwanda. Africa's first sustainable green city with smart housing, solar power, and eco-transport. Start date: 2021. Expected completion: Phase 1 by 2026. Importance: a model for eco-urban development in emerging economies, addressing urban sprawl and climate change. Economic benefits: will create 30,000 green jobs, stimulate ecotourism, and promote local green tech startups. Engineering feats: renewable energy grid, green buildings using volcanic rock, smart irrigation, and eco-friendly waste systems. What people should know: located in Kinyinya Hill, Kigali, supported by Germany's KfW and Green Climate Fund. Project 8, Egypt's new administrative capital, Egypt. A $58 billion megacity built to decongest Cairo and serve as Egypt's new seat of government. Start date: 2016. Expected completion: core government zone by 2026, full development beyond 2030. Importance: aims to house 6.5 million residents and become a tech-enabled, green capital for the future. Economic benefits: will contribute $60 billion to GDP and create over 1.5 million jobs in construction, IT, and public administration. Engineering feats: Africa's tallest skyscraper, iconic tower, solar farms, underground metro, AI traffic systems. What people should know: the city will include a presidential palace, diplomatic quarter, and Africa's largest cathedral and mosque. Project 9, LAPSSET Corridor, Kenya-Ethiopia-South Sudan. The Lamu Port-South Sudan-Ethiopia Transport Corridor is a $25 billion project integrating East Africa. Start date, 2012, Lamu Port operational in 2020. Expected completion, 2027. Importance: will boost regional trade and reduce over-reliance on Mombasa Port. Economic benefits: projected to create 1 million jobs and contribute $3 billion annually in trade revenue. Engineering feats: 1,700 kilometers of highways, 1,400 kilometers railways, oil pipelines, and a new resort city. What people should know: key to African Union's Agenda 2063 and supported by AfDB, IGAD, and China. Project 10, Dangote Refinery, Nigeria. Over Africa's largest oil refinery, capable of processing 650,000 barrels per day. Start date, 2017. Expected completion, commissioned in 2023, full operations ramping up through 2026. Importance: reduces Nigeria's reliance on imported fuel and stabilizes regional energy prices. Economic benefits: expected to save Nigeria $10 billion in fuel imports and generate $10 billion in exports annually. Engineering feats: largest single-train refinery in the world, includes fertilizer and petrochemical plants. What people should know: located in Lekki Free Trade Zone, employs over 25,000 workers, privately owned by Aliko Dangote. 11. Mambilla Hydropower Project, Nigeria. Start date: construction expected by 2026, estimated completion, 2031, project value, $5.8 billion. The Mambilla Hydropower Project in Taraba State, Nigeria, is designed to produce 3,050 megawatts of electricity, one of Africa's most powerful hydroelectric projects. It includes 4 dams and a 700 kilometers transmission line network. Importance: addresses Nigeria's chronic electricity shortage. Reduces dependency on fossil fuels. Engineering highlights: 4 dams across the Donga River. 260 kilometers of tunnel. Use of roller-compacted concrete dams. Economic benefits: will electrify over 10 million homes. Reduce cost of business operations. Improve quality of life for millions. 12. Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, Gerd, Ethiopia. Gerd is Africa's largest dam, located on the Blue Nile. It is designed to generate over 6,450 megawatts of power. While the dam has faced diplomatic hurdles, its technical progress remains a landmark of African self-determination. Start date, 2011, expected full completion, 2026, final phases, project value, $4.8 billion. Importance: powers industrialization in Ethiopia. Reduces Nile flooding and irrigation issues. Engineering highlights: RCC Gravity Dam, 145 m tall. Reservoir capable of holding 74 billion cubic meters. Economic benefits: increases Ethiopia's GDP by 2 to 3% annually. Export power to Sudan, Djibouti, Kenya. 13. Bagamoyo Port Project, Tanzania. Start date: revived in 2024, active construction begins 2026, estimated completion, 2030, project value, $10 billion. The Bagamoyo port is set to become one of Africa's largest ports, situated strategically to relieve pressure from Dar es Salaam port. Developed with Chinese and Omani investment, it includes SEZs, logistics centers, and an industrial hub. Importance: boosts East African maritime trade. Eases congestion in existing ports. Engineering highlights: deep-sea berths for megacontainer ships. Smart cargo handling and port automation. Special dredging technology. Economic benefits: attracts foreign manufacturing. Employment for 25,000 plus workers. 14. Nairobi-Mombasa Expressway, Kenya. Start date: 2025, estimated completion, 2028, project value, $2.7 billion. This 485 kilometers expressway will connect Kenya's largest city, Nairobi, with its biggest port, Mombasa. It is designed to complement the standard gauge railway and enhance freight and passenger movement. Importance: enhances East African logistics. Supports regional integration under AFCFTA. Engineering highlights: dual carriageway with interchanges, weighbridges, toll plazas, and service lanes. Economic benefits, reduces travel time from 10 hours to 4. Boosts tourism and agriculture exports. 15. The Congo River Grand Inga Dam, DR Congo. Start date, proposed phase start in 2026, estimated completion, 2035, project value, $80 billion, when all phases are completed. Overview, Grand Inga is the most ambitious hydro project in Africa, potentially the world. It aims to produce 40,000 megawatts of power, more than any other hydro plant globally. The Congo River's massive flow is ideal for this scale. Importance, could power half of Africa. Transform DRC into an energy exporter. Engineering highlights, 7 phases of dam construction. Long-distance HVDC transmission lines. Economic benefits, generate revenue from electricity exports. Attract heavy industry to DRC. Project 16, Konza Technopolis, Kenya. Dubbed Silicon Savannah, Konza Technopolis is Kenya's vision of a high-tech digital city, set 64 kilometers south of Nairobi. Designed to be a hub for software development, IT-enabled services, biotech, and research, it spans over 5,000 acres and is a core pillar of Kenya's Vision 2030. Start date, January 2013. Projected completion, 2030, with key phases ready by 2026/2027. Economic benefits, estimated to generate over 200,000 jobs by 2030. Expected to contribute 2% to Kenya's GDP annually. Will house international businesses, a research university, and a science park. Engineering and innovation. Engineering and innovation, integrated smart city systems, fiber optic networks, and AI-powered infrastructure. Green city principles with water recycling, solar energy grids, and intelligent transport. What to know, Konza is the largest planned tech hub in Africa. It's modeled after South Korea's Songdo International Business District. Supported by the Kenyan government and global investors, including the World Bank and South Korea. Project 17, the Baines Hydropower Dam, Angola and Namibia. Start date, construction expected to begin by 2026. Projected completion, 2032, a binational project between Angola and Namibia. The Baines Dam will sit on the Kunena River and supply electricity to both nations. With a capacity of 600 megawatts, it will serve as a key renewable energy source for southern Africa. Economic benefits, provides clean electricity to 2+ million people. Helps reduce power imports in Namibia and boosts Angola's domestic grid. Will create hundreds of construction and long-term energy sector jobs. Engineering marvel, involves constructing a 200-meter-high dam, flood control systems, and an international power transmission corridor, built in a geologically complex canyon region requiring seismic-resistant design. What to know, the project required years of joint feasibility and environmental studies. It's a critical part of the Southern African Power Pool (SAP) strategy. Villager relocation and ecosystem protection are part of the project's social governance plans. Project 18, Grand Tortue Amium, GTA, LNG project, Mauritania and Senegal. Start date, 2019. Phase 1 completion, 2024. Full expansion timeline, through 2030. Straddling the maritime border between Mauritania and Senegal, the GTA project is a groundbreaking offshore natural gas venture operated by BP and Cosmos Energy. It's one of Africa's largest LNG export initiatives. Economic benefits, projected to generate billions in annual revenue. Will provide gas for domestic electricity in both countries and exports to Europe. Enhances regional energy independence and economic diversification. Extreme engineering, uses floating production storage and offloading, FPSO, technology. Drilling depths of over 2,850 meters in ultra-deepwater conditions. Installation of subsea infrastructure and offshore liquefaction vessels. What to know, holds an estimated 15 trillion cubic feet of recoverable gas. Supported by World Bank frameworks for environmental and social safeguards. Forms part of Senegal's plan Emerging Senegal 2035. Project 19, the Trans-Saharan Highway, Africa-wide. Start date, original concept in the 1970s, major upgrades ongoing. Completion goal for key sections, 2027. The Trans-Saharan Highway stretches 4,500 kilometers, connecting Algiers in Algeria to Lagos in Nigeria through Niger. It will unlock trade, tourism, and logistics across the arid Sahel and Sahara. Economic benefits: opens up trade for over 400 million people. Increases exports of oil, minerals, and agricultural goods. Supports the African Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA. Engineering challenge: involves building and maintaining roadways across sand dunes, extreme heat, and remote zones. Includes border facilities, fuel depots, and emergency services outposts. What to know: supported by the African Development Bank and ECOWAS. Security remains a concern in unstable regions, but infrastructure is paired with military and customs support. Nigeria has already completed key sections. Algeria is finishing its desert corridor. Project 20, the future Lagos-Ape International Airport, Nigeria. Start date: construction proposed to begin by 2026. Projected completion: 2029. A new international airport near Ape, Lagos, will ease pressure on the overburdened Murtala Mohammed International Airport. It's designed to become a hub for West Africa's growing air traffic. Economic benefits: will handle up to 5 million passengers annually. Boosts Lagos' status as a regional economic and aviation hub. Creates thousands of construction and permanent airport jobs. Engineering and design: ultramodern terminals, eco-friendly buildings, and high-speed rail link to Lagos Center. Smart baggage systems, automated air traffic control, and runways for long-haul jets. What to know: it's part of Lagos' 20-year development plan. Backed by private-public partnerships, including foreign aviation investors. Intended to support regional integration and tourism in southwest Nigeria. 21. Trans-African Green Energy Corridor, Pan-African Project. Start date: proposed for 2027. Projected completion: 2035. This ambitious project envisions the development of a transcontinental green energy corridor spanning from North to South Africa. It will integrate renewable energy generation, solar in the Sahara, wind from the Horn, and hydro from Central Africa, with high-voltage transmission lines to distribute clean power across nations. Economic benefits: electrification of remote regions. Boost to African manufacturing and data infrastructure. Reduces fossil fuel dependency and power cost across the continent. Engineering highlights: over 20,000 kilometers of high-voltage transmission lines. Multinational coordination of grid standards. Storage facilities, smart grids, and control systems. What people should know: this project would be a flagship for Africa's energy independence and unity under the African Continental Free Trade Area, AfCFTA. 22. Congo River Basin Super Dam, Republic of Congo and DRC. Start date: proposed 2028. Projected completion: 2036. A follow-up to the Grand Inga project, this dam would harness another tributary of the Congo River with the capacity to power multiple African regions. Economic benefits: up to 25,000 megawatts of clean power. Export potential to Europe and North Africa. Industrial transformation for Congo Basin economies. Engineering highlights: one of the largest earth-filled dams in the world. Multi-stage spillways and advanced flood control. Eco-sensitive fish ladders and basin preservation. What people should know: environmental concerns must be balanced with hydropower gains. It's a chance to lead in sustainable dam building. 23. Addis Ababa-Alexandria High-Speed Rail, Ethiopia to Egypt. Start date: proposed for 2027. Projected completion: 2032. A 3,500 kilometers high-speed rail linking Northeast Africa's key capitals, passing through Sudan. The rail would transform travel, freight, and tourism. Economic benefits: 14+ hours faster travel. Trade route alternative to Red Sea shipping. Direct access for Ethiopia to the Mediterranean. Engineering highlights: desert-proof rail design. Binational coordination of gauges and customs. Powered by solar and wind hybrid stations. What people should know: could reduce political tensions and unify East Africa's economy. A game-changer for inland African logistics. 24. Pan-African Satellite and Spaceport Initiative, Ghana, Kenya, Algeria. Start date: targeted for 2029. Projected completion: 2035. Africa seeks to build its own space industry with launch facilities in Ghana and Kenya, supported by satellite R&D in Algeria. Economic benefits, indigenous tech sector growth. Weather, agri-monitoring, and communications independence. STEM job creation. Engineering highlights, orbital launch pads. Satellite labs and integration facilities. Ground stations with AI tracking. What people should know, Africa will enter the space economy. The goal is sovereign data, communication, and defense readiness. 25. Nairobi Smart Green Capital Project, Kenya. Start date, proposed for 2028, projected completion, 2033. A massive overhaul of Nairobi into a fully sustainable, AI-powered green city. Integrates smart traffic, waste, water, housing, and solar-powered public transport. Economic benefits, new tech jobs. Healthier urban living. Efficiency for residents and investors. Engineering highlights, AI-managed traffic and utilities. Rainwater harvesting citywide. Low-energy smart buildings with sensors. What people should know, Nairobi aims to become Africa's first full-scale smart and green capital, attracting global eco-investment. 26. Sahara Desert Reclamation Project, Algeria, Niger, Mali. Start date, proposed for 2029. Projected completion, 2050. A massive afforestation, irrigation, and farming initiative to reclaim 5% of the Sahara. Economic benefits, agricultural boom. Climate change mitigation. Rural employment. Engineering highlights, subsurface drip irrigation. Drought-resistant crop labs. AI-driven soil regeneration. What people should know, it's Africa's most ambitious ecological project yet, transforming dead land into green gold. 27. Lagos Underwater Tunnel Highway, Nigeria. Start date, proposed for 2028, projected completion, 2034. A first-of-its-kind underwater vehicular tunnel system in West Africa connecting Victoria Island to mainland Lagos. Economic benefits, decongests notorious Lagos traffic. Property value increase. Boosts local infrastructure jobs. Engineering highlights, pressure-resistant reinforced segments. Integrated water seepage systems. Multi-lane vehicle flow with ventilation towers. What people should know, an engineering marvel if executed, putting Lagos on par with global megacities like Shanghai or Hong Kong. 28. West African Fiber Internet Superloop, ECOWAS region. Start date, proposed 2027. Projected completion, 2030. Underground and submarine fiber loop connecting all ECOWAS capitals from Dakar to Abuja and Abidjan. Economic benefits, high-speed, low-cost internet access. Digital startups boom. Boost to fintech, edutech, health tech. Engineering highlights, seismic-resistant fiber cable. Blockchain-authenticated secure relays. AI monitoring for real-time traffic rerouting. What people should know, digital unity for West Africa, a backbone for e-commerce and digital independence. 29. Tanzania National Lithium Battery Plant. Start date, proposed for 2028. Projected completion, 2032. Overview, capitalizing on Tanzania's massive lithium reserves, this project will build Africa's largest lithium-ion battery plant. Economic benefits, green energy supply for EVs. Regional job creation in value chains. Export to Asia and Europe. Engineering highlights, clean extraction techniques. AI-controlled production lines. Solar-powered facilities. What people should know, Tanzania could become the battery of Africa, powering both vehicles and homes sustainably. 30. Cape Town Ocean-Level Desalination Hub, South Africa. Start date, proposed for 2027. Projected completion, 2031. A mega-scale desalination facility to solve Cape Town's growing water crisis. Economic benefits, solves freshwater scarcity. Boosts agriculture and tourism. Climate resilience. Engineering highlights, reverse osmosis membranes. Brine eco-diffusion zones. Solar-powered intake pumps. What people should know, Cape Town will lead Africa in water technology, securing its status as a resilient coastal city. Conclusion. As we conclude this deep dive into Africa's 30 most ambitious and transformative mega projects for 2026 and 2027, one thing becomes crystal clear: the continent is no longer just a story of untapped potential, it is a land of bold action, innovation, and rising global influence. From the windswept plains of Kenya powering East Africa with clean energy to the soaring towers of Egypt's new administrative capital reshaping governance, the North-South Rail Corridor, for instance, doesn't just move goods, it connects livelihoods. The Grand Inga Dam won't just power homes, it can power industries, schools, hospitals, and entire economies. Importantly, these projects demonstrate that Africa is taking charge of its destiny. By investing in sustainable transport, clean energy, smart cities, and economic-free zones, the continent is setting a precedent for inclusive growth that blends cultural heritage with cutting-edge innovation. These mega-projects, many of which faced initial skepticism, now stand as beacons that prove Africa can lead in global infrastructure development, not just follow. Yet challenges remain: political instability, funding gaps, climate change, and coordination hurdles. But each successful milestone achieved by these projects proves that with political will, innovation, and international collaboration, those challenges are not insurmountable. In fact, they are opportunities to build stronger systems and institutions. As we look ahead, the world must recognize that Africa is not waiting to be saved or discovered. Africa is building, innovating, and asserting its place on the world stage, project by project, beam by beam, brick by brick. These 300 mega projects are just the beginning of a new chapter that will shape the continent for generations to come. The time for the African Renaissance is not tomorrow, it's happening now.